So your lawn maintenance is about to skyrocket because 90% of workers in the lawn maintenance industry, they come from Mexico. And whether they're here legally or not, Stephen Miller, who Trump's going to put in charge of his mass deportation project, is going to deport them.
Hey guys, my name is Modi and you are welcome back to Body Speaks. So I am not surprised to notice that since Donald Trump won the presidential election, a lot of people from the all-loving and tolerant left have been exposing themselves as crazy, unhinged, and also racist. We saw how some of them came out to display surprising amounts of hatred for Trump supporters. Most of them ostracized their Republican voting families and friends. Some of them broke up their marriages and their relationships simply because their partners support or voted for Donald Trump. We saw how all that played out, okay? But now we are seeing more of these liberals exposing themselves as nothing other than pure racists. So in today's video, we're going to be listening to this liberal woman complain of Trump's mass deportation of illegal migrants, citing that Trump supporters are going to bear the consequences when there is no more illegal Mexicans to mow their lawns for half the price. She basically sounded like an evil slave owner who is against the end of slavery and is taunting those who wanted to end slavery and was like, who's gonna pick your cotton now if you abolish slavery? Okay, now if you come to think of it, back then Democrats were the ones who were against the end of slavery, and today it is still Democrats who are against the end of it, in the form of being against the deportation of illegal cheap labor because they are benefiting from it. This woman exposed herself without meaning to, and I'm gonna play the video for you guys to see for yourselves. But before we jump into the whole video, I want you to consider subscribing to my channel if you've not already. Like and share this video to keep people informed, and consider joining my membership or buying me a coffee if you like, as a way of supporting the channel. Alright.
So your lawn maintenance is about to skyrocket because 90% of workers in the lawn maintenance industry, they come from Mexico. And whether they're here legally or not, Stephen Miller, who Trump's going to put in charge of his mass deportation project, is going to deport them. They're also going to deport people who are naturalized citizens. These are jobs that Americans will not do. Okay? American families are not letting their young adults work in the lawn maintenance industry. These companies may be owned by Americans, but their employees are from Mexico. So not only will it be harder to find a company, the prices are going to double and triple. And this is going to affect a lot of other industries. It's going to affect our food supply and the housing industry, because I don't know if you know this, but there's not a lot of Americans lining up to haul cement in and out of buildings. So, good luck.
First of all, I want to comment that she knew exactly what she was doing. She understood the racist innuendo infused in this particular video. She was aware that what she was doing is in fact downgrading and thinking less of those Mexican workers. And that is why she went straight to her comment section and turned off her comments so she wouldn't get any hits on that post. But madam, you cannot run away from retribution, okay? You have fallen under my radar. Now think about what this liberal woman is saying for a second. Just try to analyze this for a minute, okay? She is trying to tell you that you should remember that you get your lawn mowed for very cheap prices from these illegal Mexican immigrants. Right off the bat, she's trying to tell you, she's insinuating that all Mexicans in the United States of America are illegal immigrants. And that now that Donald Trump has vowed to deport all illegal migrants, you are going to have to pay higher prices for having your lawn mowed because the illegal immigrants are no longer available to give you cheap services. That is what she's saying. Now, how does that make you feel as a Mexican? For the Mexicans watching this show, doesn't that offend you? Isn't that a big insult to your personality, to your country, to your countrymen? That is why you should protect your dignity and that of your countrymen by never immigrating to any country illegally. But it beats me that this mature woman is not aware that most Americans, especially white Americans, are used to mowing their own lawns themselves. I thought this was common knowledge because millions of Americans take pleasure in mowing their own lawns and keeping their yard clean. In fact, in all the times where I've come across individuals voluntarily mowing other people's lawns, it is always white guys. Always. I once made a video about this guy here on YouTube. His channel is called Midlife Stockman, and in all his videos, what he basically does is to show up at properties with overgrown lawns and yards, and he cleans it up alone. And mind you, nobody pays him. He just does this because he enjoys it. White guys especially enjoy mowing lawns. It is like a pastime to them. Republicans don't have to oppose the deportation of illegal migrants because they want to pay less so that an illegal immigrant would do the job. No, they have been doing the job themselves. And even if they've not been doing the job, even if they cannot do the job themselves, they would pay a legal resident to do the job at the proper rate. It doesn't have to be too cheap. This way, more Americans will even have more job opportunities and the system will start fixing itself. And again, it is very insulting for this woman to insinuate that all Mexican workers are illegal immigrants. That is very racist. I wonder how she said all those things she said with a straight face and not realize that she sounded like a racist slave owner. And I know for a fact that she's not worried about the price of lawn mowing for Americans. She is just worried that she, a lazy liberal like her, would have to use her household budget that she kept away for Botox and hair extensions to take care of future expensive law care, since there won't be any slaves around to do it for a major amount of money. That's all she cares about. Very selfish woman. This shows you that most of these liberals are just out of touch with reality. I just don't know where they get their talking points from. Honestly, I have never seen Democrats this mad since Republicans freed the slaves. I didn't see that either, but you get my point, okay?
And whether they're here legally or not, Stephen Miller, who Trump's going to put in charge of his mass deportation project, is going to deport them. They're also going to deport people who are naturalized citizens.
They are fear-mongering again. They are just trying to create unnecessary fear and tension. She said Donald Trump is going to deport legal Mexicans too. How is that even true? How is that even possible? Okay, these people are just willing to say the most dangerous things just to provoke emotional responses out of people. And ignorant people who don't know better are just going to swallow her deceitful narrative hook, line, and sinker.
And this is going to affect a lot of other industries. It's going to affect our food supply and the housing industry.
Of course, the deportation of illegal immigrants is going to affect a lot of industries, but mostly for the better. These effects are going to be positive in general. Many American citizens and legal residents are going to have access to many job opportunities. Irrespective of whatever she thinks, people are actually going to mow their lawns, but at reasonable prices, okay? These companies are making so much money because they pay so little wages and so little salaries to these illegal immigrants who have no choice but to accept what they are given. But you don't expect normal and legal Americans to take up jobs that will just rip them off and exploit their services for just meager pay. So yeah, the deportation is going to affect a lot of industries, but for the better. This woman is against the mass deportation of illegals because she still wants to be benefiting from the broken system. She wants to still pay her slaves for half the price to do the job for her. That is all she cares about. Nothing more and nothing less. She has inadvertently told us her real motives and the kind of person she really is. And all I can say is, shame on her.